We are wandering through St. Augustine, Florida, which is a little beach community, really nice tourist destination for folks and families.
This is known as the oldest city in America. We jumped in a golf cart to get around its narrow cobblestone streets, looking for a group that's here for a very particular reason.
The Sons of Confederate Veterans is having their annual meeting here this week, and so we're on the lookout for them.
The Sons of Confederate Veterans is an organization dedicated to preserving and promoting Confederate heritage, so future generations can, quote, understand the motives that animated the Southern cause. Their activities of choice include donning period clothing to recreate the short-lived Confederacy. When NASCAR banned the Confederate flag, they flew one over a race. While the rest of the country rids itself of Confederate symbols on monuments, state flags, and on its racetracks, we headed to St. Augustine to check in on the Confederacy's most devoted disciples.
Maybe this is them.
But they wouldn't let us into any of their events or even tell us where they were going.
Okay, so we have found the bus.
We caught up to them paying respects at the graves of Confederate soldiers.
These people are with something called Vice News.
Hi, sir.
Want to talk to somebody at the SCV.
No, we don't talk to any of you.
No press?
No comment, no nothing.
That's
Okay.
why I asked. 'Cause,
Okay.
You know, you can get somebody that would just say something and it would be inaccurate or something.
Well, can you speak then if you're
No,
concerned about other people?
Nobody's speaking.
You don't want me
Okay.
to.
Is there
It's kind of the way we work.
Oh, okay.
St. Augustine was once a Confederate outpost and has a few Confederate memorials. But America's newest racial reckoning has already arrived in its oldest town. The city council voted in June to remove this monument, which has stood in the downtown plaza since 1879. Protests following the killings of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor pushed the issue to a vote. But people like Reverend Ron Rawls have spent years trying to get them removed.
Dr. King, when he came here in the 60s, one of his statements that everybody's aware of was that St. Augustine was the most racist city in the nation, and it still lingers. And so I knew that that would be a fight because the Confederate monuments are really like gods to the people that lift that up. Commissioners have said that this is the biggest issue that's ever hit this community since Dr. King came here in '64.
So this is the monument that is apparently going to be coming down soon. So it looks like they were just looking at that.
The fight over Confederate monuments in Florida is far from over. Even in St. Augustine, you'll only have to walk to the other side of the plaza to find another one. We finally found a member who would talk to us at the local lighthouse. He responded to our questions with his own interpretations of history.
It was about state rights. It wasn't just about slavery. If it was about slavery, you wouldn't have had a single black person fighting for the Confederacy.
Popular opinion in this country about removing Confederate monuments is shifting rapidly. In just 2 years, the number of Americans supporting removing Confederate monuments has gone from a third to a majority. But these relics have gained an advocate in a high place.
When people proudly had their Confederate flags, they're not talking about racism. They love their flag. It represents the South.
Many Republicans have backed away as the president's defended Confederate symbols. We tried to give the governor an opportunity to speak to this battle within Florida.
Sir, just another question for you about St. Augustine, about a monument downtown, a memorial to Confederate soldiers
I
that died.
appreciate the question, but we're trying to focus on the coronavirus.
I just want to know what you
I
think
appreciate
about
it, but
that.
I'm gonna let someone ask about. Do you have a question about the topic at hand?
When we got back to D.C., the new commander-in-chief at SCV finally agreed to do a remote interview.
The heritage and the history that you are talking about, some of these monuments, the Confederate flag, is it worth it to keep it up in your mind if it offends and deeply hurts and reminds people of slavery in this country? Is that worth it?
I think it is, because we have to draw a line somewhere. And I'm not speaking from my organization's point of view. I'm referring to as an American, as a citizen of this country. We have to draw a line somewhere, because we can find hundreds and thousands of things that offend people. What we need to do as a society is sit down, have a conversation. And it's just like, I accept African Americans and their right to observe their heritage. I accept Mexican, Latino Americans, their right to observe their heritage. We all should be proud of all of our heritage, regardless of what background, what region of the country.
The SCV has been fighting to preserve their heritage, as they say, for over a century. But now a majority of the country and many people in St. Augustine are trying to leave them behind for good.
How does America reckon with groups like Sons of the Confederate Veterans in a moment where so much is changing right now with race in this country?
I'm not in the business of trying to change hearts. All I want is equity. Just move your racist things, your obstacles, your barriers, move them out of the way. And so that as I and so many others work to empower my people who have been oppressed for so long. And so I don't care about the sons of the Confederates, the daughters of the Confederates. Go and sit in your private little meetings and talk your private little hate talk. But as soon as you bring it to my people, now I have a problem.